All right, we're about to go on an expedition, but this isn't about climbing some mountain or trekking through a jungle. Nope, this is a journey inward, a journey from the person you are right now to the true you that you were always meant to be. Think of this as your personal map. So you might want to lace up your boots because the walk starts now. You know, every great adventure has to start somewhere, right? And for us, that starting point is a place called Camp Adam. It's kind of like our shared human base camp. It's where you get that universal feeling of being weighed down by a super heavy backpack, one that's just stuffed with fear and anger and worry. You feel kind of blind to what's ahead. But here's the good news, and this is the best part. This is just the trailhead. You don't have to stay here. So, what if I told you there's a map? A clear path leading right out of that wilderness of worry. A map that leads to a summit of, well, complete fullness. Guess what? There is. And we are about to unpack it together. Okay, our expedition is officially kicking off. The first thing we've got to understand is the change, the transformation that's at the very heart of this journey. The source material calls it a move from the old man, that's our starting point, to the new man, which is our ultimate destination. And wow, the difference is like night and day. We start out as the old man, kind of stuck in fear, spiritually blind. But the goal is to become the new man, living in a state of total fullness, reflecting a divine likeness. Now here's the kicker, the key insight. This isn't about just trying harder or pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. No way. This is about a deep, fundamental change in your very nature that only God can make happen. Now here's probably the best part of this whole deal. You are absolutely not expected to walk this path alone. In fact, you have an incredible, and I'm not exaggerating, a super team ready to help you every single step of the way. So let's meet them. Here they are. Your super team is the Trinity. You've got the Father, called the Fixer, who does the deep internal work of changing your heart. Then you've got Jesus, the Path, who literally walked the road first to make it safe for you. And finally, you've got the Holy Spirit, your guide, who's basically carrying the flashlight to light up your very next step. All right, so our team is in place. Now it's time to pull out the map. And what's so great about this is that the entire trek can be broken down into a really clear 4-step process. And here it is. This is the whole path laid out for us. We're gonna journey from revelation to sanctification, move through correction and renewal, and go all the way up to the summit of instruction and glorification. So let's zoom in and break down each stage step by step. First stop on the map is revelation. See, the problem is that we all start out kind of spiritually blind. It's like trying to find your way in a pitch black room. But then the guy, the Holy Spirit, comes along and just flips on the light switch in your mind. And suddenly you can see the path ahead. And the moment you see that truth and you believe it, you get the first amazing prize of the journey, faith.
Now, with faith as your foundation, you get to step 2, sanctification. Think of this as the great cleanup. All that mud and grime you picked up back at Camp Adam, the old habits, the old chains, this is where God starts washing it all away. And the prize is profound. It's healing. You actually start to feel lighter, cleaner, and finally free from that heavy backpack.
Next up is step 3, correction and renewal, or what I like to call the heart upgrade. It's not enough to just be clean. We need a whole new way of thinking. This is where God literally writes his truth directly onto your heart. It's like he's rewiring your spiritual operating system. The result is what the source calls the mind of Christ, and it's where you start shifting from a mindset of worry to one of complete trust. And that leads us to the final ascent, instruction and glorification. Think of this as the champion's podium. This is where you learn to live out of that new heart and new mind every single day. And the ultimate prize is glorification, where you finally reflect the love of your Father in heaven. The journey's complete. Its purpose is fulfilled. So we have the map and we know the destination. But how do we actually keep moving forward? How do we not get stuck? Well, there's one golden rule for this walk. The golden rule is this: be a truth walker, not a truth sitter. It really is a partnership. God provides all the power you need for the transformation, but you have to provide the step. He guides, but you have to choose to walk. And this right here is a crucial warning. It is so easy to just sit on the couch, look at the map, and think you know the way. But the reality is, if you only hear the truth but don't actually walk it out, you're just tricking yourself. True knowledge isn't found in hearing about the trail. It's found in the steps you take. You have to live it to truly know it. As you start this walk, you're not going empty-handed. Remember that old heavy backpack we started with? Well, you get to trade it in for a new one, and this one is filled with some incredible tools for the trail. So what's in your new adventure pack? 3 essentials from the Spirit. First, you get hope, which acts like your compass, always pointing toward who you're becoming. Second, you get riches. That's the understanding of the incredible treasure that's waiting for you. And third, you get power, access to God's own strength to keep you moving, right here, right now. You know, if there's just one idea to take away from all of this, let it be this one. Let it just sink in for a second. True knowledge of God is only found in the walk, not in the studying, not in the hearing, but in the active, step-by-step journey. So, as we wrap up, this is where we are. The sun is rising. The path has been prepared, the way has been cleared, and your guide is standing right there, ready with the light. Everything is in place for you to begin. The only thing left is the first step. This journey from where you are to the true you isn't something to just think about, it's something to be walked. The adventure begins now. So the only question left is, what's your first step going to be?